the all new nerds. I may have just blown out your microphone, but look at Lot Dodd there in the chair.
There he goes.
That's not canonically accurate. Lot Dodd chair. What's up with that? Why you got Lot Dodd in the chair?
It's the Taco Bell toy they made, but it's not supposed to be Lot Dodd.
Taco Bell. It's supposed to be. Who's it? Is it supposed to be?
Well, it's supposed to be Newt Gunray, right? But the box said.
Not,
they messed it up.
Taco Bell messed it
up.
Maybe it's just Lot Dodd on vacation. Okay, welcome back. It's Levi. I am joined by, one of the regular All New Nerds, Ben here, but special guest as always. But he's part of the community. He's always on here. We're all friends anyway. AJ from the HoloNet Marauders. Everyone go check out the HoloNet Marauders, as always, because they're the best. Check out the credits are true. The credits are true. The show I was supposed to be on, but didn't get to make it. And all their other podcasts. But yeah, we are here. Johnny will be joining us very soon. Brent is busy.
We're here to
today.
talk about
Corey
Lot Dodd today.
We're going to talk about Lot Dodd.
We got a Lot Dodd
roundtable and review stream.
Lot Dodd. He's cool. Lot Dodd, he comes in. He's a character in the live action films.
He exists.
He has dialogue. That's more than most can say. He's like, interjection. We must make a committee, and it's a whole thing. It's anyway. We're here to talk about Andor, obviously. One day late. We couldn't. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Little Rude. How's it going in chat? Yeah, some of y'all opinions on the planet tier list were not based. Yeah, listen, man. That planet tier list was not good. That was a.
There were too many people going.
There's too much going on there.
I think all of our own tier lists would look very different. Oh, we got Knights of Melvin. What's going on? What's going on?
Melvin and Star Wars Explained. Andor is Disney garbage on Communist Plus.
Andor is trash, and we're shills.
That's the Melvin line. We're all shills here. But yeah, as Ben said, announcement. Hell of an episode. Oh my god.
Great episode. Best one yet.
I want to get your
it's funny you say that.
That's what I wanted to hear. Your take right off the bat.
It's funny you say that, Gibbs, that it's the best one yet, because the other two people on my show, Jamie and Matt, they both watched it and thought it was the best one yet too. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what? I think it was the best one yet. And I don't know why. Like, it was the most grounded episode so far, I'd say, right?
I had the most fun watching this episode.
Yeah, there was just a lot going on in different places. Like, it was, for a lot of people that probably actually don't like Andor, which baffles me. But whatever. If you don't want to like something, it's fine, obviously. It's very dialogue heavy. It's not your action Star Wars. It's a political drama, basically, kind of what the show is, right? There's so much dialogue. This episode was very dialogue heavy. Mon Mothma stole the show out of her party. And then going to see, anytime Luthen and Mon Mothma are on the screen together, like in a secret meeting, it's so good. And then we get Space Miami at the end, which we'll get to, I imagine. With the music was so good.
Yeah.
And
that's why I actually think this is my favorite episode as well. But because it is, you're right, it's very grounded. But it also has like the goofy, man with a robotic leg playing Djarik on the coast of Space Florida, like goofy stuff like that, where it's like
such a small detail. But this was the first episode that had a lot of background aliens I was looking at, and there was the foreground alien with the guy with the huge snout laughing. But it was fun.
The complaint I've been seeing a lot is that this show doesn't feel like Star Wars, which I don't think we agree with on this channel. But at some points, I sort of understand that argument. In this episode, I would say shut that down. Yeah, this felt like Star Wars. This had the most Star Wars stuff going on. Maybe it's just the aliens.
My favorite.
A lot of great aliens.
My favorite was the two guys at the end, like the local security force at the trial, who have Imperial armor, but they're the aliens from Rise of Skywalker, like the big jaw dudes, like they're clearly
love using those guys.
Clearly just they look like the Koopas. They look like the Koopas from freaking the Mario Bros movie.
They do.
It's I love them because it's because they're goofy and fun, but they tell a story of here are these local people in the Imperial uniform. What does that mean about the way the Empire is affecting this place? But it's also a cool design and a cool alien costume. I know, it's fun. It's great. I love that whole scene. The whole episode I loved.
Were they wearing uniforms? I didn't really notice that. I gotta rewatch the episode, but we don't really see aliens ever in Imperial outfits, so that's interesting. But
I know that's the world building that I love. That it's the same in the Clone Wars, where you don't really get to see it because it's not what Star Wars doesn't have time to focus on it. But when you have trillions of people in the galaxy, in these local jurisdictions or whatever, you're going to need to employ local people. It's like in the Primor Security Authority or whatever. Like local people will do the security job sometimes because you have to outsource it because they don't have unlimited resources.
Yeah,
and just
they weren't
little
like
details like that. Background
they were just
stuff.
like they were just some grunts working on the like local.
There's like
security
guards.
level.
Yeah,
I
they're
think
just
that's
guards.
what
Yeah,
I like so much about this show is
it's cool.
it's so grounded, and you're seeing those outskirt stories and background people. The story's following background people almost. We're not following the Skywalkers. We're not following even Mando at this point is major character. It's very grounded. Hell, the series started out with like the security team before we even get to the Imperials. So like, it's just so cool. It's so small.
This episode really bounced around though. Like we saw a lot. The clones, 5 seconds of them, but great stuff. I thought
This is the first episode too, where we see every character, every arc. I don't think there was like some episodes we don't see. Like last episode, we didn't see Cyril at all, but we got everyone in this episode, even Vel. Which, oh my god, the twist of like Vel's got to go hunt down and kill Cassian. I can't wait to see that, and I don't think she's gonna do it. Obviously, and we know she doesn't. But what is that going to do to her, and how is she going to come out of that experience? I'm very excited because seeing her on Coruscant too, like all in like makeup and in the Coruscant style was just so cool. And Clea walking around like I've watched so many reviews where people don't know that that's Luthen's assistant. They're like, "Who's this woman in red?"
I didn't know it at first either. Blew my mind.
It got you too.
At first,
I didn't notice at first. I mean, even Vel, it took me a second to recognize her.
Yeah,
obviously.
So that was really cool.
Yeah, but just that level of like. They're not holding your hand.
Which I think is interesting. Part of me even wonders if that actually came from Luthen himself.
I know.
I'm not so sure he'd want to go and take out.
I'm not so sure.
Obviously,
it's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that came from Luthen. I think we'll explore that more next episode. I'm really hoping for like a Luthen arc coming up. The next 3 episodes. I think that's what we're getting. So we haven't seen that much of Luthen. Everything that he's done has been fantastic, but the last few episodes, he's just sort of like in his shop, doing the.
Yeah, we get like a 5-minute clip of him in his shop and it. Yeah.
I want to see more Luthen. I want to see more of his ship, which is just so awesome.
Oh yeah, we know we're gonna see that eventually.
Yeah,
so that'll be interesting.
I just want to point out, in terms of like how far that the trailer is showing into the show, it's got to be the most out of any Star Wars show, because we're going
up to episode 8. Yeah, I don't think Tony cares.
No, I know. And like
Tony's like, I'm going to advertise my show.
To what kind of show it is, I think. But, you go and look at like, the Mando trailers, and usually it goes up to like 3 episodes.
Yeah, it's like halfway about,
Yeah, like barely any of it. So I think it's interesting. But yeah, Tony doesn't care. We know everything about the show. Like, there's not this big secrecy about it, which has been fantastic. From the start, Tony's just like, yep, this is what's happening.
It's refreshing.
It's refreshing.
Yeah.
Because it lies. The enjoyment to me has been lying in the execution, which.
Oh yeah.
Let's just. All right, Dimes. I appreciate all your comments,
Dimes,
but he's got to go watch Black Adam.
I hope you enjoy it.
I hope it's good.
Pierce Brosnan, man.
It's true.
Love Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan is a good James Bond.
Yeah,
and that's what I'll say about that. a lot of James Bond takes.
Well, you have you have some like crazy takes about.
Well,
this?
I don't know. Like I was just like, this isn't a James Bond stream.
Hey, I'll talk Bond if you want. Hey, it lines up with the show because Andor is supposed to be a spy thriller.
It's a spy thriller.
This is a spy political.
Yeah. And this is much more freaking. Speaking of Pierce Brosnan, this is much more like Casino Royale than it is GoldenEye. This kind of show, like it is very. And I think people sometimes in the James Bond analogy want more GoldenEye kind of Star Wars, where it's like real, it's more fun,
goofier, cheesier.
It's true. I mean that's I think that's valid though. I mean I think that's a lot of the Star Wars stuff I love has that element to it. And I always say behind the scenes, and I say it on camera too. Star Wars to me is always on a scale of Kurosawa films to Flash Gordon Republic serials, and Star Wars content lands on a scale somewhere in between there, where like Attack of the Clones and Rise of Skywalker are complete Republic 1930s Republic serial style. Like this week on, we're doing a crazy thing, and it's like that. And then there's stuff that's way more like Western samurai inspired. That's very gritty and thematic, and it's all and that's your Empire Strikes Backs, your Last Jedi's, your Andors.
Oh,
Gibbs is.
we mentioned Rise of Skywalker and he left.
Yeah, he left. It's understandable. It's understandable.
There he
But my point is, like, I think this has a nice. I don't understand what he's doing. That this has a balance more towards the serious, and I think it's also Star Wars. But I understand why someone would want more. But to me, this is just it's hitting that, because in some of the mundane stuff, that is bringing me joy.
Yeah,
it's bringing me
cool
the same level of joy.
It's cool you can have that meter, and have in the same franchise have things fall in different spots and all be in like the same canon. Like obviously, you know, there's some things like James Bond and Batman where it's all over the place with the stories they tell. But
another example of the Flash Gordon, I think like Book of Boba is way more on the Attack of the Clones, Rise of Skywalker type.
Mando's kind of.
Mando's like more in it's definitely leaning
the middle.
Yeah, it's like in the middle. Yeah, it's a blend. Mando is like the blend, but this is far in the other direction. Anyway, I just like watching. So we also get. I don't even know where to begin with this, because this episode is so rich and there's so much going on. Like the Imperial Bureau of Standards, like that whole thing. Yeah. Oh my God, awesome. What that says not only about the Empire, but I was talking about how there's local people in that. Like you see aliens working in the Imperial Bureau of Standards because there's just so many people there, and you would have to.
You need to employ aliens. Like there are hundreds and hundreds of those desks. Like. I love the last shot of that episode.
That's all I was thinking about that. Yeah. And the music playing, it was so I don't know, 80s sci-fi or something.
It was kooky, like sort of. It gave me almost like 2001 like vibes.
Yeah,
like I don't know. It's just I don't want to say it doesn't feel like Star Wars, but it's new. We're seeing like the nitty gritty of like he's working on fuel purity. Like
it's awesome. I love that.
I know it's hilarious. It's like the smallest of jobs like possible that he could be doing.
Levi, I had a point on our show once, as Johnny comes in here.
Johnny comes in.
I had a point on our show. Doesn't this show Andor feel like a Star Wars novel almost? Like where you're getting like think about Random Book, but not Rise of Resistance, Resistance Reborn.
Yep.
You get like the stories in the office on Coruscant. On Corellia, and like this reminds me of that. It's weird.
Winsher Brat. Yeah, he's just like a middle manager guy.
Yeah,
he's doing all the.
He would fit.
But yeah,
well
I have made that same point on this show that
cool.
Johnny and Ben can attest to.
I haven't heard you say that.
That's not true.
What have you said? The novel? Yeah, I've heard you say the novel thing before.
Thank you, Johnny.
And I read one, but
very good poster behind you, by the way.
Which one? The Force Awakens or the
two good ones? Two good ones.
Oh, he said
Vengeance.
I love it. I love it.
I watched The Dark Knight Rises yesterday.
Yeah,
great movie. Underrated.
Good one.
Overhated.
Oh, that's 2 days ago.
Not underrated.
It was overhated. My favorite though.
I was born in the Andor.
Okay. I think we should sort of just go through this episode. I was born in scene to scene here.
What?
What's that?
What? Yeah, your little Bane impression.
That's all right. Bane moment.
Bane impression. The Bane day.
I say maybe we should just talk. Why don't we just talk through this episode, scene by scene?
Yeah. Well, Johnny,
I literally just
first reaction.
I literally just finished it.
Johnny can really help us.
Really?
Yeah.
As well.
I haven't seen it since
I freaking loved it.
Yeah.
Again, the show is getting better and better.
Best episode yet, right? You agree?
I
think all three of us.
I have to think about that for longer, but maybe potentially it was really really
it's
good.
My favorite.
So very pleased with this. Very pleased with this show. It is my favorite Star Wars show, and it's not even fully done.
Ooh.
I think I'm there too.
I'm getting there. I'm there as well. I was thinking because for whatever reason there was another like burst on Twitter of one of those like everyone's ranking the shows again.
Yeah,
I think
Corey
started
this,
but it was like 100
started
tweets. Yeah, like Corey. I think Corey. I saw like 100 tweets of people putting out their shows and everyone getting mad about the rankings. But I was just thinking about it because I know
rankings are a dangerous game.
Yeah, AJ and I both agree that rankings are a dangerous game. We've had this conversation.
They get heated sometimes.
You gotta rank like silly things like.
Maybe Ahsoka when it comes out, but
like favorite.
That could be a plug for the. Check out our newest podcast where we rank the
planets. I plugged it already.
What do you think?
Yeah,
you think that would be
fun time?
You think that'd be a safe one, but apparently people are angry about that.
No, we've gone to
what wasn't safe?
That list is a mess.
Levi had a couple outbursts, if you can believe it.
There were five. There were five of us, right? Like it was.
I'll have to watch that.
Us three, Corey and Brent.
It was fun.
And just coming from all sides of Star Wars.
It wasn't safe.
It was just, but you're right, too many too many things pulling it.
Like favorite, we could rank like favorite Nemoidians. That's a safe one. Like that's rank
Yeah, that is a
Nemoidians.
safe one.
Favorite
I don't think there's
Nemoidian.
any. I don't
You
think
know
there's
the
any-
background.
one.
I don't think
Background
there's any
Nemoidians.
topic.
Oh, I like background Nemoidian number 1 better.
Yeah.
But
No argument.
Okay, so look, here
No
comes
argument.
here comes. I'm saying Coruscant and Bespin were both ranked very wrongly. Hey,
does he
Where were they
mean down or up?
I don't know.
I mean,
Well, that's
probably-
I don't know.
Well, we put Bespin at the very, very best.
Bespin was S.
Coruscant ended up down in like B tier. So
Coruscant,
Do you guys remember-
Coruscant is S. But...
Do you guys remember Matt from our show, Marauder Matt?
yeah,
Doesn't like
Do you
Coruscant.
remember?
Do I remember him? Yeah.
We,
Do you remember him?
brought
It's been a while.
No, we brought him up in that
I
podcast.
remember him.
Yeah, I
So-
brought him up. I
No,
brought him
We
up.
brought
okay.
him up.
He texted me last night after he watched the episode. He likes Coruscant now because of Andor.
You know what?
Oh, man.
That's crazy. I was thinking
Isn't
that
that good?
That is a
No, no, no.
character arc.
When I was
He's
watching
bad.
last night, I
That
was
is
like, you
spectacular.
know
I'm
what?
gonna have to message
The
him.
dead speech.
After having seen this episode, I would have put it higher as well. Seeing
I
like when Vel
agree.
like
Yeah,
was
listen up.
where Vel and the assistant like met up when they were both walking through Coruscant. I thought that was
So good.
the best.
That was
live
really
action
cool.
stuff.
Hey,
Good
AJ,
Coruscant stuff today. Oh my god, yeah.
AJ, I'll have you know, I cited Matt in our.
No, we
when were
talked
talking
about him because
Coruscant,
me and
we were
Levi
like,
were
Matt
sort of
Ray,
on the like the thumbs down.
He's the only person I know that doesn't like Coruscant.
No.
I mean,
We don't dislike Coruscant, but I think me and Levi think it's a tad overrated.
I would die for Coruscant.
there's a lot going on. It seems like a fun
Fashions-
place.
The fashions are coming back.
It does have a lot
I
going
would
on.
die
That's
for
what I'm
Coruscant.
saying. It is like the high class of the Senate that we just saw in Andor, but also like the gritty underworld of the levels in Bad Batch. Like it's so diverse.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Especially in Clone Wars. I don't know. I love
And
it.
No, I hear
like
you.
oddly enough, city planets are interesting in Star Wars because I feel like they're kind of rare.
Yeah,
I mean, I
I
know
agree.
you have a few, but
Ooh, I
Most of
might
them
have
are
one plan I do really like that was introduced in this episode as well. Big fan. Big fan of
You like
Miami
Miami
Beach.
You like Miami Beach?
Yeah, Miami Beach
oh,
planet.
Vice
Beach.
City, yeah.
Vice
Vice
City.
City.
AJ, I
Vice
love
City.
everyone go check out HoloNet Marauders. I think it was the HoloNet Marauders account on Twitter. AJ put out a great Vice City, GTA Vice City parody.
Took me a
Poster.
while. It was good.
Very good. He put a lot of effort into it. Awesome. Save that to my camera roll. Very funny.
Yes, there we go.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, we've been. So it sounds like everyone's liked it. We're all going through first impressions. Johnny,
Big
you got
fan.
it. Everyone's big
fan.
fans. So yeah, I think Gibbs is
Mhm.
right. We should go through.
Yeah.
You know, Johnny, you just watched it.
Yes.
Maybe you can help us out. Like, just take us
Yeah.
scene by scene.
Yeah. Well, I'm you know me, I'm kind of bad at this stuff, but I mean, we open on Cyril talking to his mom.
Yeah,
That's
poor
tragic.
Cyril, man.
Well, that's tragic. Well, thank you, Johnny, for the someone
Okay.
an
Thanks.
Ugnaught
John.
an Ugnaught snuck in and pulled
Yeah.
his cord.
We'll continue on in his honor, though. I love how he kept just saying, "It's a brown suit. It's just a brown suit, Mom." It's a
their
brown
dialogue
suit.
is so good.
The high
She just
collar.
like keeps hating on it. He's like, "Just a suit," and he's like, "What does the suit say about me?" And
I
she's
like how
going
Cyril's
on.
always modifying his clothes, by the way. Like,
yeah, it's
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
always doing something.
When he first showed up,
He's
in
got-
X1,
he's got-
I was like,
He's got some fun stuff.
nerd. Like the fact that he took his Premor outfit and like
yeah.
Taylor
like altered it on his own is so funny to me.
It's like it gives like Boy Scout kind of vibe.
Yeah,
I love
he's
it,
definitely
though.
a Boy Scout, yeah.
I love it,
he's-
though.
But-
kiss
but-
ass.
The high collar, sorry to cut you off there, but the high collar kind of alludes to like an Imperial thing, right?
Yeah.
Everyone, that's like the Imperial uniform, and the ISB people, they all have the high collars too.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
feel
like,
there
I
was even a
imagine,
shot that-
that's where he wants to go. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Levi, did you just?
I
You're
know.
back
I
in
know.
here
I
again?
was like, type it in the chat. My alt account. Sorry.
Oh,
I
y'all
know.
to count.
Hey, Melvin.
Levi can't help himself. Okay.
I can't.
Shout out to Melvin.
Shout out to
Anyways.
Mel. I went on a Melvin binge last night.
Did you really?
I did. It was
awesome.
It was cracking me up. I'm glad he's in here actually because I was having a real good time watching some Melvin last night.
Bunch of Melvin fans in here.
Well, I was in an anti-theory mood, so.
Okay.
Okay. Cut.
Cut.
Oh, what if he's in here? What if he's listening? Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway.
yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
but you were saying, yeah, it definitely alludes to something Imperial, and a shot from the trailer that we haven't seen yet is Cyril at the ISB in like a tie, and he's in that white room. So I think he'll eventually meet up with Dedra somehow
Yeah.
on her own quest. But what I was gonna say before you mentioned that is, even though like the writing is so good in this show, like even though clearly Cyril and Dedra, bad people, don't like them, you are rooting for them in every single scene they're in. and it's like, damn,
even the ISB, the head of the ISB. I forget his name.
Partagast, yeah.
Partagast. I love that
Love
guy.
him. Love him too. Especially he had some great scenes in this.
That one seems
Yeah.
so good, but yeah.
Thesis. Oh, it's so good.
It's
So good. The way he said that.
And then he's like, watch your back. Like,
oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
We'll get there.
It's awesome.
I'm famous for jumping ahead. My bad.
I know.
I got excited.
I know. I want
Anyway.
to talk about like the ending, but
Yeah. Anyway. With so Cyril in his apartment, and yeah, his mom is just like the worst. Like, oh my god, like it says you're desperate. It's
classic
like,
Italian mom.
You're desperate.
Yes, who is Uncle Harlow?
I don't know.
Are we gonna run into?
Was that
this
not
man?
who we met in the factory?
Mobster.
No, not in the factory, but
No.
That wasn't
No,
him?
that's
Oh,
just
no.
some guy.
That was just some guy.
He referenced
Oh.
Uncle Harlow and said his uncle had.
That's who I
recommended
thought
him.
got him that job.
I don't think
Uncle
we'll see
he
Uncle
did,
Harlow.
yeah. But Uncle Harlow like
We don't
talks
see
back
him.
at
Oh.
We don't know who he is. He's some
I
like
don't-
mystery character.
I
I
don't know.
sort of think he might be a big character.
I think it might be
Really?
the client. I think it might be Werner Herzog. That's a fun connection. I think.
Wow.
You think it's me?
That'd be-
I don't know. I think it's like
Because they keep
big
putting it in like
character.
the last time on where she's like, "I'm calling in the family favor."
yeah.
Like
no.
there's something.
I think it's
there's-
just like it's a classic like Italian, New Jersey Italian, like
maybe.
calling a relative. For
I
help.
think
don't know.
most likely you're probably right, and Tony doesn't care about Uncle Harlow.
Part of me
but,
feels like it's gonna like.
But yeah,
be
but part
some
of me
big
does feel
reveal.
like there's some reveal there.
I'd like to meet him. Be cool.
I'd like to meet Harlow.
I would like to meet Uncle Harlow. Anyway, another thing about this opening scene is in the background they have their 70s TV on the HoloNet, which is the first time that we've
Yes.
seen the news. And at first I was like, I don't know how I feel about this screen, but then I remembered in Attack of the Clones at the Outlander Club, they're watching space football on the TV, and I was like, right,
Yep.
okay, so TV is like a thing in Star Wars. I always forget that it's not just
Of course.
holograms. Because you see it in Rebels too, and I realized like, okay, yeah, it's just seeing it in this way. It makes it really feel like a TV screen, but TV's always been a thing in Star Wars. But yeah, like the way it zooms into the news report and so good, and then it cuts to Dedra putting on her ISB uniform, and that cut, like, and you're seeing just Dedra getting ready for her day. You know, she has only the 2 outfits on her hanger, and then you start to hear a voice speak, and instantly I was like, "Is that Yularen? Is that something? Who's this?
Yeah.
What's going on?" And then it was, and
That was
I don't know.
great cameo.
Yeah,
Do you think we'll see more of him, or is like you think that's just a one and done thing?
I think we'll probably see another scene with him.
Yeah.
Another couple maybe.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that whole scene of her dressing up, going to the room, the way it was all cut together,
Edited perfectly. Yeah.
edited perfectly. You don't see Lauren's head like for a while, like it's from the back that he's below frame as he walks, and you see all the lower supervisors' faces as it comes up, and they don't like make a reveal out of it, but it
No,
still
I mean
is.
you like. I think the average
So-
viewer is not gonna. They're gonna miss that.
Yeah. If you have
So cool.
subtitles on, you find out. who it
Yeah,
is when it
no,
starts
yeah,
talking,
that's. Well, I knew going into the episode. But
Spoiler.
yeah, I did see that just pop up pretty quick. Just Yularen like subtitles. So
Back to Cyril talking with his mom watching TV. Jokingly on our show last week, Matt said, "I was like, oh, what do you think is gonna happen with Cyril?" And he's gonna be. Matt was like, "Oh, I don't know. He's gonna be on his couch watching the news with his mom," and that literally happened. But he was
yeah.
joking, so it's like, I don't know.
That's the kind of stuff that can happen in the show.
I know,
great.
seriously. It's so good.
It's awesome. But yeah, so
I love seeing that apartment life.
this next scene though with the ISB is not only cool I saw something on Twitter that was like, it was one of those memes where like people are like, you know, chill and then freaking out compared to different things, and it was like, you know, train heist and then ISB meeting, and everyone's like, yeah, and I'm like, that's how I feel. Like the ISB meeting's got me going like, yes, I want to watch
was good.
this.
They were the best.
And-
I think they were my favorite scenes in that. Was the ISP
And
scene.
I just
Love
like
them.
Dedra Miro is becoming one of my favorite Imperials. Like I love
Good
her.
take.
And I couldn't place it because I didn't recognize her face, but like kind of vaguely, and I was like, who is this? And I've always like liked her in the show, but I never like looked it up. I couldn't place it. If you're a Witcher fan, and I'm not sure if we have any Witcher fans here, but she's Yennefer in The Witcher. She's in the voice in the games. She's like, I've listened to her talk for
Wow.
like hundreds of hours,
Oh,
and
in
I
the
was like,
game, I thought you meant the show.
I couldn't place it, and I was like, oh, well, they did like her face in the game is loosely modeled off of her too.
Mhm.
And
cool.
I couldn't place it. I was like, damn.
And so wait, that's
like
who? Sorry.
Dedra.
Oh,
Dedra
oh,
Miro,
okay.
the main ISB girl.
Yeah.
But she's like quickly becoming one of my favorite characters just in the show and in the Imperial
she's great.
pantheon of
Great.
officers. I love her.
You know, I like the kind of like her story is obviously very much progressing, and like I imagine she'll become a higher rank, or maybe it'll all go to shit towards the end of the season or at the end of the season, but we'll see. Love her character though.
I remember
very
in the trailer
excited to see where it
we see her with some Death Troopers.
On Ferrix.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
She's showing
Yeah,
up
we,
with
how
her
much
down.
we're like down to the last like less than 10 shots from the trailers, right?
No, we're not
just
really.
talking about that.
More?
I
There's
think-
still a ton.
Yeah.
Because
I
you
think it's gonna
see
keep
all the
going.
stuff with like the riots
can't
on
remember,
Ferrix
that's
with
why
all
I'm
the
asking.
troopers lined up with like the riot
Yeah,
shield.
shit.
That's the Dark Empire officer figure. That's right. Okay. That's what
Yeah.
I want to see an ISB agent in the show.
Like a callous
Me too.
type.
We will. I think.
Yeah,
I think
no,
we will,
but
too.
like Battlefront, like outfit.
Oh, like the
Callous-
Agent Callus
callous
kind of
armor.
look. Yeah.
Yeah,
Callus. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be
Maybe.
cool. That'd be cool.
Hope
I hope so.
But yeah, we
Spending a
see
lot
her.
of
too.
time on
We,
ISB.
we see her
Agent
showing
Callus
up-
though too. Is that a crazy? Is that a
Oh,
crazy
I
thought?
wish.
The Agent Callus. It's a take. It's a poll, but it'd be interesting.
I think it might be more likely that we see him in season 2 with the rebels. When
Yeah.
we get
That
to
would be
point.
sick. Or like a mentioning
That
of
would
him.
be-
Yeah. That would
Yeah,
be
or
cool.
Yeah,
mention
even
that.
a name. Oh yeah, Palpatine got named twice in this ep 2.
3
right?
times. 4
3
times.
Yeah.
No,
Only a matter of
Mon
time till we
Mothma.
get-
Mon Mothma.
Because Yularen says it twice, Mon Mothma says it once, and then the woman at the,
Oh,
at
Yularen
the
says it
sentencing,
twice.
and the
Yeah.
woman
The
at the
Emperor. She
sentencing
says the
says
Emperor.
she says the Emperor
You're right.
at the end. She
You're
says
right.
take it up with the Emperor. So
Yep.
4 times by my count. But still, it was awesome.
I hope to God.
You see the special
that would
Senate.
be-
in the
Oh,
Senate.
Some
only
some
it's
meeting,
only a
some
matter of
Senate
time.
meeting.
before you.
Yeah,
show
okay.
up.
I mean, we've sort of been we've been dancing over it. Like the actual dialogue of that scene that we're on right now. Like Yularen
Which
is
scene are we on?
bad
I'm
guy.
sorry, because I've been.
Yeah, you keep
been,
jumping in and out. messing stuff
My
up.
internet. I can't help it.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
there's an ugnaught in there, man.
There's a bot. There's a bot somewhere trying to take
Okay.
me down.
Well, if we're done with the ISP,
What are you
we're
saying?
going to
No, wait,
Revolution.
Yularen.
What?
Yularen. We gotta talk about
Oh,
what
we're
he
still at
says.
Yularen.
Because what he
Okay.
says, so not only is he like full villain now, which sucks. Because like you want to love Yularen. But
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
know.
Yeah,
It does.
it's like yeah though, but if he's sitting at the Death Star in A New Hope, probably not a good guy. If he's in that room with Darth Vader and
Yeah.
Moff Tarkin,
Right. Probably not a
probably
good
not.
guy.
Probably not the best man.
Yeah.
But what he's
Or-
talking about, because this, I mean, we
He's
got to
a
talk about
rebel.
it because it sets up the whole thematic point of the episode. All of these impacts from Aldani, increasing the prison sentences, the way that the Empire is treating people, it's all a direct result of Cassian's actions. And as Cassian runs away from the rebellion, then he essentially puts himself in that situation that we get to at the end in prison. Like he makes that situation for himself.
It would have been a 6-month sentence. Now it's
Instead of 6 years. And
Oh, the
so-
6 years. Oh God.
But like that whole thing of him running away, but his actions and he's inspiring his mom to stay. Like his actions indirectly went against everything he wanted, and he's gonna have to realize that. But in that scene, like we're saying, yeah, Yularen mentions Palpatine multiple times, but also says that he's calling a special like session of Congress to declare some stuff. And like, do we think we're gonna see that next episode? Like, are we gonna see Palpatine within the next couple episodes here?
I think
know,
so.
like
They've talked
Where's
about him
he
so
go?
much. I don't know.
it would make sense to see him, but this feels like a show where they like wouldn't. It'd be. I feel like it'd be weird to see him.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be some like crazy like Emperor, like Darth, like it's gonna be a
Kinda like
Sith.
Luke
It's not
Skywalker
gonna, it's not
moment.
gonna be a
It'll just be
Sith
like-
appearance. It's gonna be like Emperor appearance. We're gonna see him in the
Right.
Senate.
I was
I think
even
we'll-
thinking like the rebels, like Chancellor Palpatine, like the
Hologram
nice
kind of
version,
thing.
the hologram.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I
That would be cool.
I think that they'll do
Yeah.
it like. I think they'll
That's what I
do it casually, where it's just like, yeah, this is.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a big thing.
At
Yeah,
this
I agree.
point, like he still has like this sort of reputation. People know who he is. Like it's not this like secret like shadow
Yeah.
emperor.
Yeah.
He still makes public appearances, and I think we'll just see him in Senate at some point.
Yeah.
I would love
I mean,
that.
we're on Coruscant,
I mean,
so like, it's a matter of time, I guess. Yeah.
that too didn't they set up that there's like or I think it was in the Mon Mothma scene. Aren't they? Isn't there going to be a big Senate meeting?
Yeah,
That's what I
Something.
just
I
talked
remember-
about. Yularen,
Right? Okay.
Yularen says it.
yeah.
Oh, Yularen says okay.
Yularen, yeah, he's calling a special
Um,
meeting in order to
yeah.
pass new amendments to the Constitution to make the ISB more in charge.
See?
But yeah, after that, is that so? Then do we go to the Mothma scene?
yeah.
No, it's Luke
Then-
and the Mothma.
yeah.
It's Luke
Then
and
it's
the Mothma
then it's Mothma pulling up and
pulling up, returning the Utapowan cudgel.
Right.
This was a great scene. This is I think my
was.
favorite scene of the episode because I love how Luthen is just like he's a giddy. Like
He's a giddy
so
guy.
happy. He's
I love
giddy.
his
He's like,
I love
"Woo."
his smile. Fake
Yeah.
smile or real smile. It's so good.
He's so like happy about it, but it sort of makes it like the rebellion that is forming is definitely more of a Saw Gerrera type it's bad. Like people are gonna suffer from this.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is what we wanted. Like we need the Empire to get worse so it can get better. Like they force their hand. The Empires and become like even more evil in a sense. Like
Gotta break some eggs if you want to make the omelet.
yeah, exactly. And he loves it. And I think I'm sorry, but even when they're pulling up, they're listening to the radio in Mon Mothma's car, and they're like, I think 149 Aldani's have been like arrested. And like,
yeah,
it's like damn, like they didn't do anything. Like
cool
that's really messed up. Like
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. They have to.
Yeah, no, I love the through lines from last week's episode. That was a good point too. Yeah, very interesting. Here's a few.
What does Mon Mothma like expect? Because she doesn't seem to want any of this. Like she doesn't seem to want the violence or the fighting back. But that's what she's all about. So like,
I think was going because remember in the 4th ep, she's like, hey, I'm trying to bring someone in to the fold. In this episode is Tay Kolma, this guy from Chandrilla. Yeah. Because it turns out she wants to try and access her accounts to get money and like convert like secretly and with no bloodshed get these funds. But Luthen clearly was like, I'm gonna get these funds a different way, and we're gonna rob Aldani because I think they both were like, we got to get money and build this network. But he was like, nah, we got to get money and we're gonna get money. I think she wanted to get money a different way.
Blood's gonna have to be spilled at some point, and maybe she just doesn't. I mean, obviously you don't want that to happen, but it's gonna happen in a rebellion like that. So.
Well, yeah, but I watched.
Oh, I think she's aware of that.
I watched her speech in Rebels to Saw Gerrera last night. After I watched, I went through a bunch of Mon Mothma content. After
Mon
this
Mothma compilation.
Because I watched the Mon Mothma compilation of all her scenes. Because I'm so hyped on Mon Mothma. But what she says to Saw is it goes back to the age-old Star Wars theme about how it's all about how we fight. And she knows they have to fight, but she doesn't want to become what the Empire is. And she knows that's what makes her so hesitant going into the sequel trilogy and the disarmament and all that stuff is she knows that they need to fight. And Saw is saying, his rebuttal and what Luthen would probably say is that if we can't play by the Empire's rules or anyone's rules because they're not going to play by the rules. But her argument is like, okay, then we're just the same kind of monsters as they are. If we're just killing civilians and innocent people, like what is the point of fighting? And so she knows what they have to do, I think, but I don't think she wants to do it the way that he's doing it. I think she's waiting. She wants to do what she does in Rebels. She wants to wait, build this network, and make like a formal declaration. Like I think she still believes in diplomacy. She was doing it she was doing it during the Clone Wars of where. In those deleted scenes of Revenge of the Sith, where she's like, we just want diplomacy to resume. That's why I'm not going to vote for more clones and all that stuff. And she get called a separatist. And she mentioned, I got to rewatch it, but she said like she was, people call her like a separatist defender in the Senate, which is like a line that I want to go back and rewatch.
Yeah,
because I like that implication that
good
like
monologue.
That her position in politics has been like defending these former separatist places. Because I bet those places when they get incorporated back into the Empire, the most discriminated against, and that's how it is in canon and Legends of like those, because it's not a coincidence. George talked about this, like all of the separatist leaders too happen to be aliens. Man, that's crazy if like everyone was really racist to aliens after that, because literally in the prequels all of the quote-unquote bad guys have been made like all this corporate stuff, the banks and the Trade Federation, it's all run by aliens. And it's like there's a lot of parallels to the real world in the way that Palpatine uses that to then oppress that and then nationalize, the banks, the like trade and all that shit, and to incorporate it into the Empire and use people's prejudices and fears against them. And so I like that if Mon Mothma she's still holding on to that. Like I'm just they think I'm just like a separatist defender because she wants I just think that's cool. But that was always cool. That's always been her. That she's like, I think she believes in an official declaration of like, all right, now we got an alliance.
She's playing the game.
Yeah, she's playing the game. She's playing the game. Sorry, I just went on a rant there.
No, it was great. Like that's what's so good about this show. Like, look how deep you just went with all that, and like
Yeah.
this show brings it out. So
It does.
This is
Like,
true.
This is true.
Good show.
I think
good
Why it's
show.
a good show.
You guys didn't know. Good show. Good show alert. But do you want to talk more about the Mon Mothma scene? I think we covered it. I mean, love to see more Coruscant. That's what I'll.
yeah.
That's what I'll add. Yeah. No, but great performances too. Like especially in that scene. Very good. Very good.
Can I quickly make one
yeah.
more comment to maybe bring
Yeah.
us into another conversation? During the scene when Mothma is talking to Luthen, you see a shot of like Clea like listening in over like a radio, and it seems like it's maybe being recorded. And then the next scene is she goes off on her own to talk to Vel. And I really got the shot of like, I don't trust her anymore. Like at first I was like, okay, it's Luthen's assistant. But in the way they framed that last shot of Luthen and Mothma talking,
No, they
she's
made
in
her
the
look
back,
like a
clearly
they made her
like
look like a
listening
villain.
in. And then she went to go do her own thing with Clea. And Vel is like, I really expected Luthen to be here. And she's like, oh, I recruited
She's like,
Terramin
well-
and Nemec. Shame, they're dead. Now go kill
Yeah.
Cassian. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, like I don't know if I trust Clea in the same
No,
way.
but like,
'cause
yeah. No,
even
I
Luthen-
agree. It was
Even
it was
Luthen is-
it was oddly, yeah, Luthen too.
even Luthen is, he's saying like, we gotta fight. It's gonna be this way. You know what you're getting into, kind of thing. But he still seems sad about it when he breaks. When she leaves, he still has like this look on his face where it's like, damn. But Clea's like, she's in. She's like, oh, this is what a revolution is like. We gotta kill people. It's like, okay, I don't know. I don't trust her.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like Luthen to want to do that. Even though we've only met him for like 20 minutes, but like, I don't think he would recruit Cassian and then want to kill him off. So.
Well, we still don't know how Cassian
Probably.
knows so much about Andor. How
Luthen.
Luthen knows so much about Andor. Like his dad being
Right.
hung in the square. Like we don't know how he knows.
Hey,
Yeah,
touched
yeah.
upon
Well,
that
they brought that up again, right?
When he
Yeah.
sees
See it.
Bix.
You see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see the flashback. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Great. Oh,
Clones.
Yeah, so let's move on. I think the next scene is Cyril and showing up at the bureau,
Bureau of
of
Standards.
standards, which we briefly talked about. I don't think there's anything too crazy in that scene besides we just get to like introduce
Mouse
He gets a
droid.
job.
Mouse
The mouse
droid.
droid. Yeah.
Mouse droid.
Cyril,
Almost
like,
takes out
jumped.
Cyril.
Got-
She was horrified.
Cyril
He
got a
jumped
job.
out of the way.
That was that
It's
scene.
like, whoa!
I think he was
Mouse
Mouse
droid coming in.
Yeah. Mouse droid.
Yeah. But yeah,
But,
nothing. We sort of talked about that scene, but yeah, it's just a cool building.
Yeah,
fan.
very cool building. Love the interior.
Good
I
vibes.
thought, didn't we see part of it in the trailer or something? Or maybe something that looked like it. I know there was another like what we thought was like the clone factory originally.
Oh
think it's just a
yeah, where's
prison,
that gonna
but-
be? Oh, that's
That'll
where
be
the
probably
prison.
next step, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's where he's gonna go
okay.
to prison. I think.
And Andor is
That's
gonna go
the
to
prison.
prison. Yeah.
Who's gonna bust him out?
Open for a prison break
Oh.
episode, which is gonna be sick.
This
Saw.
This is the arc that's gonna run us into Saw. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
it has
I
to
think
be.
it will be
Yeah.
Andor in
look
the
at-
prison, and then either
It's a
he breaks
three-episode
out
arc
himself
left
or
and then
Saw
a
breaks him
two-part
out.
finale.
Or breaks someone else out, and then Andor happens to go along with them. You know, something like that.
He's the only person to ever make way for the mouse droid and not let the mouse droid go around them. Shows what type of person he is.
Yeah, it's
true.
true.
You know what? I actually
Yeah.
think that Andor is going to
Don't
run
think
into a master code breaker in the.
Yeah.
Dude, I would kill if
DJ.
DJ was there. I would love that. I would like 20-year-old DJ.
No, that's
I
a
would go
joke.
for that.
That's
Young
that's
DJ.
I know you're. I know you're.
That was like
joking,
a
but
that was
I
like a
love DJ.
joke, Levi.
the master
but I love
code
DJ.
breaker just conveniently in his cell. Like, and he's
Hey,
like,
live free. Don't join.
I can get you out.
you
Something
out.
like that might happen.
Hey,
I
can
love
Yeah.
DJ.
Yeah,
I love
whatever.
DJ.
I like
Go on,
DJ.
I go on a DJ rant. Let me learn you something big.
No, we're not talking about DJ. We don't have time for
No.
that.
No time for that.
I'm just messing.
But did we talk about Andor at all? His scenes yet?
I think we are. Yeah, we are talking about Andor right now.
I knew what Johnny
No,
meant. He meant cat.
I
He
know.
meant-
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're going scene by scene, but he hasn't shown up in the episode at this point. He didn't show
Really?
up for a little while.
Yeah,
he
show
does.
for a while, yeah.
I know he
Yeah,
doesn't show up for
next-
a while. But
Because we don't
next,
see him.
next is Cleo going to meet up with Vel
Yeah.
as we see
Which
her
we-
sort of
which we-
walking through.
yeah, we just talked about that.
Well, we touched on it, but
I
We
like the
touched on
little logo on the ground.
and this was the first time we saw stormtroopers too. Just walking,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, great shots and great shots like the the track.
which is something that
she's
every
walking
week
through.
we mention like, oh, this show hasn't even seen stormtroopers yet, and it wasn't like some big like stormtrooper action sequence. Oh, the troopers are here now. Just they're just standing garden
Just there.
on the street.
They're literally
Just
there.
there. The presence
That
is there.
little like carving on the ground. I don't know if we have any Skyrim fans here, but it reminds me of like the shadow marks that the Thieves Guild leaves around.
I was gonna say it reminds me of another Bethesda game, Fallout 4, with the
the railroad.
The railroad,
It's just
yeah.
the, like,
Same
Yeah.
secret, two Bethesda
cool.
games.
Oh,
they
Littleroot,
that
though.
idea.
Good.
People
good
didn't know the logo on the
reference
floor was
there,
a simplified version of the Rebel Alliance logo. That's what Littleroot's saying.
I couldn't get like a good look at it. I just saw
Yeah,
like
I
a
didn't- I
circle
didn't-
with the
I
line
didn't
It's
see
through
not
it.
like a
I didn't-
circle with like
I
a
didn't
line
know.
through it, but
Yeah. Crimson Dawn vibe, if you ask me.
Yeah.
that was
It's the there they are. Await the
Await-
dong.
Await the dong.
cool. So yeah, they talk. Yeah, I guess we talked about the conversation that they had, but
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, do
yeah,
you think
I-
Vel is gonna like try and bust out Cassian to kill him?
That's what I thought. I thought she would find him there. I don't think she'll kill him.
I don't think she'll kill him either. But, like,
I mean, she might try.
Well, yeah, I don't think she'll try to. I
Yeah,
don't think
well,
she'll.
she'll
Yeah.
try.
I don't think she'll want to once she gets there.
Or maybe
kind of reminds
Luthen,
me of like
stops her. I don't know.
yeah. I don't know.
Luthen does not want to kill Cassian.
No way.
I'm quite certain of that.
No, I don't know why he would.
So obviously they're having
Like every time the mission's been brought up, he's been like a giddy little guy.
giddy little guy.
I don't think he's mad about any part of it. But anyways,
But he didn't want
Um,
Andor just because he was like good at like he was a good like shooter like or good at like combat. Like he wanted him because I think he knows that Cassian could believe in the cause. Like if you just wanted a mercenary, just send in that mission. Hire like a bounty hunter or something.
Yeah. He knows deep down that like he's
Go
an
get Boba.
investment for the cause. Yeah.
I think he definitely is.
Yeah.
This is a guy who
well,
gives everything to literally save the galaxy. So
Right.
Luthen made a good call there.
have-
We have skipped over. Oh, go ahead, AJ.
I was. What my thought is, I'm thinking now, it has to do with Vel, but with Nemec from before. But I don't want to jump ahead to when Cassian gets arrested. But does he have the manifesto on him still? Because I feel like that's gonna be a big
Ooh,
piece
that's a good point. I think it was probably in that box that we see him
above
have.
the shower.
Above the shower.
yeah, the shower.
Very weird.
Mm.
Damn.
In fact, I bet if you paused it and looked in,
I'm gonna have
It's
to
like
do
the
that.
sacred Jedi text in the drawer.
Yeah. It's the sacred
Okay.
manifesto.
well, the next scene in the episode is Cinta finding this cool looking speeder under some like leaves or something. I like the look.
Yeah, I
of
think
it.
this is
Right.
their escape plan. Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah,
because
it
the
was
Star
cool.
you see the Star Destroyer show up on
Yeah,
Aldhani.
well, I think that happens later, but we'll just talk
No,
about
that's
that as
later.
one scene.
It happens before. What?
Beautiful shot.
It happens before. She's
No, it is.
pulling
Yeah.
up the speeder
We
and then
keep
it
the
shows
Cinta
up.
stuff together. Yeah, I mean, we can talk about
There's
it.
only,
It's
there's only
a-
one scene. There's only
Yeah.
one Cinta scene.
The speeder was really weird, but
Speeder is cool. Yeah, it is weird. I've been saying this since the trailer. I think that is like not a good shot of her looking up at the Star Destroyer. It looks
Same.
like a fan.
I
It
agree.
looks like a fan film. Like it is, I don't know the way the Star Destroyer
I don't agree. I like it.
framed.
I
I don't
think
think it looks very good.
I think it's just the setting. Like you can tell it's a real life setting, sort of. It just like
I mean,
looks
yeah,
like
it's
someone.
like on location maybe.
If
It's
someone in
cool, but-
Scotland or wherever
Yeah.
this was, Ireland, Scotland. I think it was
Scotland.
Scotland. If someone in Scotland made a Star Wars fan film, I could see that. But
Yeah,
like,
it looks like
it
a
looked
fan
good, though.
film. And I don't mean that in necessarily a bad way, but
Well, it's
it
like
has fan film.
in Mando, Tython looked like a fan film just because like the setting it was filmed on. So
I thought, yeah. If I want to compare on-set location filming from Andor versus
It
Mando,
was just the set and more just
Well,
the way that the Star Destroyer like looked like going. I don't know.
yeah,
Looked too much just like a CGI model. Like
Well, it's also just because if we're getting to the nitty-gritty of it, it doesn't have a chance to interact with anything. Like there's a brief
Yeah,
moment where it starts to
it-
touch the clouds,
it's-
and it feels real in that moment because it's the part of it is going through the clouds, and you see the TIE fighters going on because your eyes are able to see reference to the scale of it and what's going on in the environment. But when it's just like floating in a fake sky, then it looks a little weird because
Yeah.
it's a nitpick certainly, but
it's certainly a nitpick. Yeah,
what
It's
is what's Cinta up to?
I don't
What do
know.
you
I think
what's
she's
her
escaping.
plan?
She's got to get out.
Trying to get out of there.
Do you think that this was part of the plan, or do you think she was supposed to get out with everyone
No,
before?
it's part. It's
No,
part
they
of the plan.
told her
This
to
is all
stay
part of
there.
the
Her
plan.
and Vel are like
because
stay
Vel
here.
and Vel was like when she's talking to Clea, she said
She said
"Have you
bye to
heard
her,
from-"
yeah.
and she said, "Have you heard
Yeah.
from Cinta?" And Clea says she's doing what she's told.
Right, and she
So-
clearly doesn't know the full story. There, it doesn't seem like.
Yeah, because I think Cinta, we got multiple episodes that she's the hardest one of that whole crew. I don't know, man. I don't know if she let those hostages go, and I don't know if she might be on some other mission that might be.
Do you think they like
submission?
Gathered a bunch of people who didn't know each other, and like placed them on Aldani to run this mission together, and then like Vel and Cinta like kind of fell in love there, because clearly they didn't. I don't think they had a relationship beforehand because the assistant Clea.
Yeah, Clea. Yeah.
Doesn't know the vibe there between the two of them, but I don't know. It was hard to tell like how long they were on Aldani.
They were on for 5 months.
Okay, they say that.
They say that in the 4th ep, yeah. And then Clea says though that she recruited Terabin and Nemec separately, and Skeen too. And he had doubts about Skeen from the beginning. So at least 3 of them were brought in from the outside for that moment. They weren't like, because there is no like rebel base yet. There's no like place where they're hanging out. They're just like, they call it a network in this episode, which is sort of like giving me Fulcrum vibes, early Fulcrum vibes, where it's probably just it's a loose association of people who know each other. I think probably the strongest thing you got right now in terms of like forces or Saw Gerrera and like people like Enfys Nest who have dedicated like fighting groups who are doing stuff. But other than that,
I would love to see them in this. But
when is Bale going to show up? I really thought Bale was going to be at the party scene with Mon Mothma.
I thought that's
it's probably an Alderaan, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I thought that's who her Mon Mothma's person she knew was going to be. Like when she said, "I know someone we can bring in."
I mean,
but it's
technically, like canonically, like he's been sort of like rebel since like very beginning.
Since
like,
day one,
he's working with like Ahsoka like just a couple weeks after Order 66.
True.
So when he's in the loop with Kenobi and Yoda, and there's a lot there.
So that's going on. I mean, I would have to assume that Mon Mothma and him like know that, but I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe this is just like. He's a different cell at this point.
Well, I mean, I certainly don't think that means that we won't see him. No, I think that's.
Oh no, well, I think we knew for a while now that we're going to see Jimmy Smits. I think that they sort of.
Yeah,
I think that leaked a while ago.
But as far as I'm aware, he is doing what he and Leia, and Brea, because you see it in Princess of Alderaan and the novel and the Ahsoka novel at the end of it and some of the other stuff, like they are still rebelling within the framework of the Empire. Like they're doing a lot of what Mon Mothma was talking about with the charitable events and the charities, and Leia's running missions to Wobani and helping people out, like against sort of skirting Imperial authority, but just to help people. They're not like fighting necessarily. And the forces that do fight, the one instance I can think of is at the end of the Ahsoka novel, but it's only like Bail literally has, he's pulling up with just the one blockade runner and a couple of A-wings. Like it's not like a he uses that in one instance. It's not like a big rebellion, and that can be hidden very easily. So there is like the fighting, like I said, is probably primarily being done by the most extreme factions right now. Because I mean, and like the Ghost Crew too. I mean, they talk about their cells right now. And it was something we skipped over with Dedra. Is Dedra like I love the scene where she's saying like we're playing right into their hands. Like all of this stuff, the Empire cracking down is exactly what they want, and she knows it. Like this will only pull these cells closer together and make accelerate our demise essentially, and she sees that, which is it's like one of those things where once again like you're rooting for her because you're like yes you're right Dedra, but you're also evil, and like that would, if she were in charge, then the rebellion would never succeed. So it's it's tough. It's funny it's fun to watch, but I don't know, it's
that's true.
It's cool.
What scene are we on? I would very much want to get to because
so it cuts though from Cinta. It cuts from Cinta to Cassian back on Ferrix, and I loved all the dialogue with him back on Ferrix talking to Marva, and it just feels real. Like when he's like, "Man, what happened?" Emotional. She's like, "Yeah, Tim ratted you out." It's like, like the fact that she knows, and she's like, "Yeah, everyone knows. Don't worry, he died."
This is a goated episode right from the start because in the last time in Andor we got
you got Tim.
You got to see Tim getting shot again, so that was pretty awesome. Get to see that twice.
D2 Emo doesn't even get a word in. He just says hi Cassian, and
he gets
talk.
Cut off like a couple times. I was like,
I think he talks in the later scene, but
in the later scene. But, no, it's funny. Love B2 Emo. Good little droid.
I keep wanting to call him Emo.
Nothing Yeah, they just kind of, and then I think he's saying he's going to Bix, right? At the end, yeah. At the end
Yeah,
of
well,
that scene.
he says to Marva that he's gonna oh yeah, you're old, you're tired, you gotta put you to bed. Like we'll leave in the morning,
Yeah.
and she's like, yeah, sure. So
Yeah,
you know
sure.
he thinks that's gonna happen, and then he goes to see Bix. Yeah.
Right. And then we jump into. I thought we've touched upon this, but this big Mon Mothma not dinner party, but your event kind of scene.
With Tay Kolma, played by
Tacoma.
someone I forget his name, but he's in Speed Racer as the announcer at the Grand Prix, and that's what I like.
That's funny.
He's also in The Crown and other he's like an actor, but he's also my favorite role he's in is Speed Racer. I love Speed Racer.
I don't trust this guy. Well,
Really?
I mean, well,
Okay.
Oh, I loved him.
Ben Miles, thank you.
I didn't like him, but I don't know. Something about sort of the end there.
I think that's just the tension of the show. But yeah, I get the I know what you mean. You can't really trust anyone.
No one
Interesting.
can be. Yeah, no one can be trusted.
Yeah.
I
He's
guess.
like
That's a good
obviously so
point.
scared to tell him.
Yeah.
It was a cool conversation how they were kind of like skirting around it, and he's like, I think my political
They, like smile.
I know, and Mom
Might be
schools
like-
him. She's like, no, I'm
might
not
be
there.
too much for you right now, and she's like, yeah, well,
What a weird setting to like tell someone that kind of stuff. Like I know it's their own house, but like I wouldn't
Yeah.
do something like that.
they're so fat and satisfied they can't even imagine that.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, you
point.
gotta do it right under their noses.
Yeah, that's a good point. I like that.
Yeah, no, that was an awesome dinner scene. I want to be at a Coruscant senator's party.
Right? Yeah.
The cocktails looked really good that they were
They look
drinking.
good.
I
Yeah.
loved everything
What was
about it. The way that he
What was
just
the
like,
punch drink?
We said Perrin's. I think he said Perrin's punch, which was
Parents.
Aaron's
that's
punch.
that's her husband.
That's
No,
her
it was like-
husband.
Yeah.
something punch, but or
Parents the
It was
worst.
Anyways.
Perrin's something punch. Yeah,
Perrin's
Perrin,
the
like, yeah, he's the like. How did they end up getting married? Like, she obviously
it's
hates him.
It was an
Arranged.
I know
arranged
that too.
Oh, it was an arranged marriage.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tony has talked about that.
because she is the I keep forgetting his name. The other senator would
Take
be
home.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, take home.
Well, I think
Good
that's
parent.
the implication is that they were probably they did like each other, but she had to do this arranged marriage for politics.
Wink, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair
But anyway, yeah, like the fact that he is just sickened by even being on a Coruscant is awesome to me. Like,
Yes,
he's-
yeah, I
he's like-
loved that. I
he's like-
love that.
He's like, this is awful.
You
Like,
don't
look at
wanna
this.
Be here.
He's
Yeah,
a
I don't wanna be here.
Snobsville.
Look at everybody. Yeah. Yes, literally. Yeah, no, that was this scene was probably my favorite scene in the ep here.
Yeah.
A lot of. I just loved like how they're trying to be incognito. How Mom Mothma was just so aware of what's going on, like
Smile.
her surroundings,
Smile.
like when to
Yeah, smile.
when to be serious,
Smile.
when to I loved the duality of it. It was so cool. And then her obviously being like, yeah, I'm like I'm kind of like playing everybody right now.
Oh, her
And,
line,
I
dude,
have-
but I
and have
learned-
all-
I-
yeah, but
I
lying,
learned
like,
from
about
Palpatine.
everything.
I learned from Palpatine.
Oh.
If I show you the stone in my hand, you don't notice the knife at your throat.
That
I'm like,
was the
"Damn!"
Yes.
line of the show. I
Like-
forgot about
like-
it, so you mentioned
I'm
it.
like,
Wow.
That
oh
was a
my
good line.
god,
Good quote.
I,
Good quote.
I went, whoa, Mon Mothma. Thank you for
That
that.
was great.
Because everyone's been
It's-
kind of been like, oh, Mon Mothma hasn't really done much yet in the show. She's sort of just passive, and like this shows you she's really playing.
That's literally the
everything.
point.
And even
Like, it seems like she's
Luthen,
doing nothing.
I think to an extent,
Hmm.
where it's like she
Loved it.
just has, she has the most to lose, is what she says on that couch. Like, I'm the first person who will go down. I am the most public figure and face of any sort of anti-imperial opposition, and I have to play this. I'm a nuisance card until the bitter end.
Yep.
It's awesome. Everything about it was awesome.
Good stuff.
Yeah, awesome.
Love the scene. My favorite scene.
I had to
and
smile
then
every
we
time she said
go
smile,
into-
man.
Yeah, I know. I
Smile.
loved. But she's like her being so aware of her surroundings was just so cool to me too. Like I loved it. So many good quotes. Obviously, the one you just brought up, Levi. But then we get into Andor.
Yeah, we're back
It's
at
big.
Bix's
Well,
shop.
they have a little exchange. She's
Feels
basically
like,
like, "You need to leave." And he's like, "Oh, okay."
feels like that's it for Bix. That sort of felt like the end.
Potentially.
Probably.
No.
But I hope
I don't
not.
really. I don't see her coming up like organically again. I don't think
We're
he's
gonna
going
be on-
back to
we're gonna-
Ferrix.
But we're gonna be on Ferrix again.
Yeah, I don't think Andor will be in Ferrix. Though. Oh, you think
Oh.
she's gonna show up in those scenes?
Yeah, she'll just be there. I mean, she's one of the main.
Yeah, I
Ferrix
get
characters.
it. Yeah, that's fair.
I think we'll see.
Yeah,
her
Because
again.
we know that
yeah.
because we
I
know
get what you're
now
saying, though.
that Dedra is in control of Ferrix. She has that sector,
Mhm.
and she's going
Mhm.
there with the Death Troopers. We have that whole scene where she's interrogating Bix in the trailer, where she says, "You're caught in my net. Are you a fish or a thief?" Remember from the
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah,
was
yeah.
making fun of that line. She's interrogating Bix, so at some point, I think Bix is going to be leading with Marva the resistance because we see in the trailer like everyone fighting the Imperials on Ferrix.
That's gonna be They're gonna be
yeah,
leading the
Yeah.
charge there.
No, I mean it's that. I mean.
And also, we know that
the
they're
scenes
coming
after
after
they set that up.
Cassian, and they will know that Bix knows
Yeah.
Cassian, and Bix is going to
Yeah.
finish this.
This is
I mean,
yeah. But then we get some little itty bitty clone flashbacks, which I love.
Hey,
Younger Cassian.
Clem, man, ugh, Clem.
Yeah, yeah.
Clem,
So we
dude.
find out the Clem name
R.I.P.
comes
Clem.
from his dad.
Well, we knew that already, but,
nice
you
little
know.
detail.
Yeah. But seeing it, this is the first time you
Seeing
saw
it
Oh,
was-
yeah.
Poor
No,
Clem.
I
Yeah.
mean, no, they say it in the first 3 episodes. 'Cause
Yeah, but do
he's
we
there,
see it?
He's there with
That
Marva.
flashback?
No, we knew
Yeah,
his
on
name
the
was
ship.
Clem, and when he
Yeah.
says Clem in the 4th episode, I'm saying we already
Yeah.
knew the name Clem was an homage to his
Yeah.
father. But yes, this was the first time we've seen.
Seen Clem.
No, we've seen him before. This is the
We,
the
we
first.
saw Clem.
He's
yeah,
with
he's
Marva on
he's
the ship.
on the ship when they find him.
Oh, yeah. In the flashbacks.
Yeah, in the flashbacks. Yeah, he's in the.
And then
first
they
2
fly
episodes,
away.
and-
Yeah.
And then Luthen talks about his dad hanging in the village. Now, Clem's in those first eps. This is just when we're seeing him get got. And what's tragic about
Right.
it is he was like, I don't want to fight. They're just gonna go, and he's trying to stop the people from
Yeah.
throwing the rocks. But as they
Mm.
turn, he's in the middle of the street,
He's in
and
the
they think it's
crossfire.
him.
That was
And
sort of
it's-
stupid of him.
Well, it's the same thing that happened to Cassian. That's why it's tragic. Is like he was just walking by, as
Wrong,
you know,
literally
on
literally
Mimos.
wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, well,
Literally,
Cassian would just
like
walk.
what?
I mean, Clem does like.
That's the same thing with
jump
Clem.
into
Clem
the
was trying.
street.
I know.
No,
but
Clem
was trying
jumps into the street though.
to try and stop them from throwing the rocks.
Okay,
Yeah.
it was a bad move though.
Was it? He
He's-
said like he was saying
He was trying to do a
stop.
good thing.
He was trying to do a good thing, but he got himself got.
I don't think he thought they were gonna turn around and kill him. Like that's crazy. And it's just what happened. Like oh my god,
that's-
dude. When
That's how the
When-
Boston Massacre started.
when
Throwing
Sam
rocks.
Whitwer
That's true.
Sam Whitwer short trooper says hang on to him, and the KX droid is just like hang.
That was him.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah. Apparently
That
it
was
was.
Whitwer?
Yeah.
it
That's
was Whitwer.
awesome.
Like brutal, like crazy.
Yeah.
That was horrifying when the droid, like just this cold robotic form of the Empire, like the small miscommunication would cost like this person their life. He's just going hang, like squeezing his neck, like that's crazy. Like he could have
And
died.
It's
Ugh.
also interesting because
Wait,
like,
am I getting into that scene? Because I'm ready.
I mean, you got to go.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm just getting into it.
the
Yeah.
on the K2
love
unit
it.
quickly. Like
Yes. it's
whenever
him.
I see a K2 unit, I think of K2SO, and like
Of course,
I always
naturally.
smile and laugh. But then you get this guy you're talking about, Levi, and it's like terrifying. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's cool. The first
Yeah.
one we ever see is K2.
I
He's
like.
funny.
Yeah, it's funny because I literally thought I was like, what if he's like. I thought it was like just gonna be K2SO just straight up for some reason. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
I
he's
don't
gonna be
know.
ni- he's gonna be nice, but then he ends up
he's not gonna
freaking
be in the
strangling
show.
him
Like I don't know.
against the wall.
What if they're lying to us? Like, what if Cassian reprograms this droid
One in this season?
jail to help him escape? Maybe they
Ooh,
just lied
maybe.
about that.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I like all
That
the way
would be a
back
cool
when,
moment
when
to
we
do it.
first heard there was gonna be no K2. I was like, that's a bad move. And obviously, it's been so long since that announcement.
I don't know if it's a bad move. I mean, if it makes sense, it makes.
I mean, like I said, this is before we had a trailer. This is
In
before-
hindsight,
this
it's
is
not a
before
bad
we knew
move.
anything
No, I
about the
don't-
show.
sense.
so-
I certainly agree with that as well. AJ.
Like, I don't know. K2 is best part of Rogue One to me. Love K2. So.
I love K2.
I don't know. I
K2
don't
is
know,
good.
man.
K2
All
is
all
good.
subsequent appearances of KX series droids though have been horrifying because we saw them in Book of Boba.
I know,
Yeah.
that's what AJ was
Book of
Yeah.
Boba and that
Like, they're like,
flashback,
yeah.
I mean,
And
Fallen Order.
Terminator.
Fallen Order, they
like,
really
Fallen
push
Order,
it out,
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
They're hard in Fallen Order.
They're very
Oh.
hard.
It's a cool new addition. I love that. I love new droid. Good,
But
good
love
solid
the
addition
planet.
to Star Wars.
Love
Yeah.
the planet that
Nyamos.
they're on.
Yeah, Miami.
Ooh, yeah.
Hey, the music, the planet.
The music, yes. Oh my god, love the theme.
Cassian's got himself a friend.
I love that
Yeah.
it's
Quote,
a
unquote, in his
beach-
apartment
It's a
or
beach
whatever.
planet,
I love them just
but
walking
it's,
on
it's
steps.
not a beach. It's like concrete. Like
It was like
we're
stairs.
Sitting out. in,
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
it's
weird.
like
concrete
it
stairs.
reminds me a lot of where some of us are from Massachusetts, like certain parts of Mass. It's kind of interesting.
No.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Kind of
How?
the, kind
What
of
do you
the,
mean?
Let's
the,
go
shit,
with
the
Andor.
shitty,
Palm
the shitty,
trees?
the shitty parts on the beach. I don't know. There's places.
There's
There's
places like that.
Places.
Yeah.
Well,
I-
it is a real place actually in England. So
Yeah.
you can go
England,
there.
New England. It's all
Well,
the
no,
same.
because I was thinking, because weren't there some things on Manhattan Beach
Set
that were
photos?
filmed? I thought it was that.
No, the
I
set
thought it was
photos.
that scene. There was a
No.
short trooper. Was it?
Yeah, it was just this. All those set leaks of the KX
Yeah, that's
story and yeah, it's just from that. and it was in England.
Oh, okay, but that wasn't in California. That was in
No.
London. You said?
It's in England. It's not in London.
Yeah.
Got it. Or England. Got it. Okay. Never mind.
Yes, short troopers, man. Love to see.
I
them.
tweeted this last night. My new favorite genre of Star Wars is woefully incompetent short troopers. Like those people running. It's like a solid 15 seconds, and do you see the short troopers chasing after them? They're just like,
Yeah, I know. I was like,
it was so funny,
what
and
the
they don't even have blasters. They were just running like so.
Cassie's
so far
just looking
behind.
around like, what the hell's
Yeah.
He's
going
like,
on?
what the hell? And then it was so funny. Like it took so long for them to get there. I love that because I was obviously thinking of the short trooper in Mando with the lunch tray.
The tray.
He gets
Yeah.
blasted. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
it's a weird little subgenre of short troopers who just are like really really bad at their jobs. I love that because they
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That was cool.
And then
Um,
Cassian tries to go buy some whatever he's
Yeah.
going to buy.
Pizzos.
And
Going to the
a whole
shop.
bunch of things. She's like she's like the green pizzos. Like
Yeah.
just a bunch of
That was-
Star Wars
that was funny.
snacks and like sodas. It's
Yeah,
funny.
Miami cereal. and
Miami
pistachio.
cereal.
Oh, the pistachios. What a
Yeah.
detail.
Yeah, because she was so good. What a good cut that was. I've just heard
I
like
love-
Yeah.
eating the nuts.
I
How
love
long
Cassian
has it
just
been?
talking to the
Yeah.
Sam
Green
Witwer
Red
trooper.
Dog, yeah.
Why are you sweating? It's hot.
Is that-
the way
is
he,
that
the way he
a-
delivered
yeah,
that
it's
was great.
hot. I mean, it's
It's hot.
true.
What is Cassian's relationship to this woman? You think this is like you paid her, or is this like somebody he
But-
knows?
No, I
It
think
could
probably
be a
just met her. I don't
prostitute.
know. I think he just probably
Yeah.
met her. I don't know.
I
He's been
sort of
there.
thot it was a prostitute.
I think she's
Really?
a prostitute, maybe.
Okay.
yeah, it's
Well, I think-
Oh,
you know what?
Oh, sorry, I forgot what you were talking about. Yeah,
Breaking
yeah.
Bad reference. I think she's very similar to Jesse and whatever that prostitute.
Oh
was.
yeah,
Wendy.
Wendy.
Yeah.
What?
Because they're kind of like oddly friends.
Yeah. I know, but at least
Yeah.
like this girl was attractive.
And-
Wendy was.
Yeah, that's
was
funny.
See,
horrified.
She
Okay.
sends Jesse for root beer, and he's going to get pizzos.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
I didn't even
No,
think-
Whoa!
I figured that this
Shoot.
was indicative of a time jump. That her being
Yeah,
there
no,
indicated
it
he'd
definitely
be there
been-
for some amount of.
I
been there
definitely
for
there was
amount
some
of
time that Cassian spent on that planet. Yeah.
Yeah.
because he had the safe
Oh, I
box
like
and
that.
he's living in a place and clearly he
lived
spent
in,
some
I
of
like
the
that
credits.
take that this is sort of like this like girl that he knows to like lie low, sort of.
Maybe.
Maybe I don't know if it's
Yeah.
well he's going to
I don't know.
prison now. I don't know if we ever see her again.
Yeah. Well, he's now he's
Probably
going
not.
I
to
didn't
he's going
say
to
we
prison.
would, but you know.
He's
going
going
to
to
prison.
But I
Hey.
loved the little not like the courtroom, but like well, I guess it's kind of a courtroom.
I
but,
don't know if this is true. I don't know.
Well, I think time will pass
I
in
didn't
prison.
transcribe the Orabesh, but apparently on his like on the little sentencing like sheet that he had, it had like potential force sensitivity as one of the
Yeah.
one of the charges.
Is it
new
really?
profile pic, guys. on
That's
Mars.
true.
That was. I didn't translate it myself, but that's what people they
I've,
translated
that's-
it
I've
as.
heard.
But I think
I
it was
haven't
just the name was also Keith Seymour, who I think is someone that works on the show. I think it was just like a fun little Easter egg they did.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
he's
I think
Keith.
the idea is that
His
now
name
this
was
is like what
Cassidy.
they're charging people in to like be like, oh,
Okay.
they're going to jail,
I like that.
longer because it's like,
Well,
oh,
that's the
force
name he
sensitivity.
gave. He said his name was Keith.
We
Yeah,
said
yeah.
Keith, but this
Keith
said
Sevmore or
Keith.
whatever.
Keith,
Oh.
like it was spelled like
Oh, that's funny.
Not
The
real
like
life,
Empire just got it wrong.
Well, maybe that wasn't him though, because there are a couple of plates that you see in there. Maybe it wasn't
True.
his.
yeah, I
Sure.
don't.
Like 3 or
I
4.
don't know about
Yeah.
this firsthand. I just heard people talking about the fact that there's a force sensitivity in Orabesh,
Oh, see, Mug says Space Dubai.
Dubai.
Face to buy.
okay. I mean,
I mean, I
Not as
definitely
flashy.
see the Dubai. I mean, it doesn't have the like skyscrapers, but I would say like the shape of like the island they were on is sort of Dubai-esque. So
yeah,
Yeah.
I see that.
I could see that.
Hot Sandy.
AJ, for reference, this profile pic is from the Planet Tier List pod to show you how
Oh,
How-
jeez.
how
You look like you're
wild
pulling
that
your
is.
hair out.
I tried to find when that was specifically was. I think I was offending Camino, probably. I imagine in there.
Oh, probably Coruscant.
Or
Jamie would
Coruscant.
have been there with you for Camino.
Thank you.
I think we were all there for Camino except for
We
me.
did
Right?
a-
No. Oh,
it's weird-
Oh my God, that is so wrong.
What was it? Corey was also in Brent?
No, but you guys are not for Camino. You can't-
I put Camino in
But
S. I could.
You
I
did?
put Camino in S. Yes.
Oh, it was Levi who was.
It's weird
the
you
one
guys
that
did
was-
this
Listen.
because a few days ago we did a Patreon bonus episode and it was Jamie and I listing our top 5 planets. So we coincidentally like
We
did
yeah
that
we
same
also
time
were
as
in
you.
a
Wow,
big
what were your
debate
top
with
5?
Corey. Yeah, that's your top 5.
What's your top 5?
From 5 to 1.
Mhm.
Shoot.
Whatever.
I
order,
wrote- it's on my
It's
phone.
any,
One
any
Vice
order.
versa.
Or any order.
It doesn't. It can be out of order, just off top of the head, off the top of the dome.
Coruscant. Wait, no. Octo was 5. 4 Exegol. 3 Coruscant, 2 Tatooine. Tatooine's garbage, but I
Whoa!
love it. 1 Naboo.
Okay.
Okay,
Go-
I like
go
Exegol
take
Good
in there,
mix.
that's what I'm talking
I
about.
like Naboo.
Got
I had
a
to
bit of
fight,
everything.
dude. AJ, the way that I had to fight for Kajimi, I love Kajimi.
I love
Yeah, but
Kajimi
Kajimi
too,
didn't
but
get put down that far. You
I
can't
know.
be upset where Kajimi ended
Bro,
up
you wanted it
a
in like
tier.
D. You wanted it in D.
I didn't. No,
You
I
can't-
didn't.
you can't
put it in
revisit
high
Kajimi in the
D.
Lego game, and it makes me
in high
mad.
D.
I know it's
Man.
outrageous.
You
Yeah,
can't like
it's-
walk
It's,
around
it's,
there.
it's in the game, right? It's in the
It
Lego
is, but
game.
you can't like.
Oh.
It's only a mission.
It's not a
You
separate
can't like.
planet.
You can't go explore it. Yeah.
I have not
Asian-
gotten to the Rise of Skywalker yet.
Asian class.
It's fun. It's fun in Lego.
No, I know. I want.
Whether you. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, Asian class got kind of
I haven't
dumped
had
on.
time to-
That's a
Okay,
fat
okay.
F. That's a fat F tier.
Asian class has potential because like Luke and Leia were.
Bro, Asian
Training
Claws.
there,
I'm
but-
sorry. I'm sorry.
But I mean, I don't have any connection to it.
I love that you said Tatooine is garbage, but I love it. I love that.
Well,
Well,
I'm
it
glad
is.
you put that up.
It's
high,
where
'cause
the saga
No.
started and
I was
ended.
really
it's
fighting.
true.
I love-
I was
For,
really
like,
fighting for the
literally
the,
how
like,
much story is in
icon,
that
like
on that
OG
planet.
planets.
Yeah.
Like
It's-
like
It's a special
Dagobah,
planet.
It's
Tatooine,
good.
like Hoth. I wanted all those in S, and people were not.
You can
I've
come
just
at
been
me
so
all you
sick
want,
of it
chat.
that I think I just it's not in the top of my head right now.
But the Skywalker saga ending with a twin sunrise, binary sunrise, good. Love that. That it's not
Yeah,
a
I like
sunset,
it.
it's a sunrise.
That's fair.
One of my favorite little
It
details.
is the rise.
Yeah, the rise
Skywalker.
of
Rise.
suns on Tatooine.
Rise of something.
Yep, it is.
Yep.
The ri-
Rise of
Anyway,
Anything else you
Andor.
want to say about the episode?
Anyway, then no.
We kind of finished, right?
I think
Well,
Oh, no, we got
rushed
the
one thing
last
we can talk
rushed
about
zero.
through the end.
We
Yeah.
didn't talk about Andor like running it 4 clones with like a mace. Like
I think he
What's
gets
gonna-
put in prison because
Yeah.
he we know that he has a record. He goes to jail.
Cool shot though.
He
Cool
goes to like
no,
juvie,
well,
and then
it's just- yeah.
and then he
I just
serves
wonder
on
if we're gonna see
Mimban.
that.
He serves on Mimban when he's 16 as a cook or whatever, because in order to get out.
I wonder if we're gonna see that though.
Maybe, hopefully.
Like a flashback?
I hope so.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
mean,
think we
the
will.
first 3 episodes, we got flashbacks sort of like continuously. So
we
might,
did skip
we
over.
might.
We skipped over a lot of Dedra stuff, like her take, like the way that she takes
Yeah.
over the
Oh,
second
yeah,
with
we skipped over the meeting.
yeah with
the big
Anton
meeting.
Lesser and
so
Yeah.
good.
so good. Oh my god, the way that
Thesis?
the way in all the
I-
scenes he's in, the way he frames debates between his
Yes, yes,
and
the
he's,
way.
like, his
Oh my god,
voice.
yeah, dude, it's
So
so
great.
slick. He's so
He's
slick with it.
fantastic
He's unbelievably
adjudicator.
slick with it.
He's a
I was
great
like,
adjudicator.
"Woo!"
It's all so
Yeah.
like factual. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't care about emotions at all.
No, he plays into it right at
Robot.
the right moment, and then he's like, "Well, actually, you're the one who's wrong." Like, okay.
And I love when Dedra she goes to the archives or whatever, and the guy there's like sleeping with his
Yeah.
tunic like undone.
Yes, yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's like, "Oh, ma'am, sir, hello."
It was good for her though, because I feel like when she's
I know,
like,
yeah, she used
I
it.
can count in your discrepancy. Like, it's
Yeah,
like she's
for
not
your
gonna
discretion,
tell on
yeah.
him for sleeping.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe
folks,
so, Mug.
I think I do gotta pop out. I am watching Black Adam.
Oh,
So
great.
I'll let you guys
Pierce-
know how it is.
Pierce
It's
Brosnan.
probably not gonna be good.
I think it's gonna be good. Next
I've
episode,
I've
no
heard pretty
Pelt.
bad
We're getting
things.
Saw next ep though.
There's
Here,
only one part
Well,
that
here,
excites
here.
me.
If Johnny-
that we know about. and,
When Johnny pops
uh,
out, do you want to throw the link into the chat for a little bit? Talk to some people.
Okay,
or-
I also gotta
Yeah,
pop
please
out,
do.
So.
AJ, do you have to go, or is it going to be just you and
I
I?
have to eat very soon, but
Okay. Well,
I can
guys,
stay for a little.
Okay, maybe
You can rap.
Sorry.
You want to rap?
Johnny tried.
Well, I
Levi
mean,
tried.
I tried. I mean, I want to talk to some people, but I mean, it sounds like if you,
Your call.
Hey,
you
we've
gotta
been
go, you
going
gotta
for almost an hour 10 here. This
I could go for like 5 hours talking about this episode, man. I
Yeah,
love this
It's
episode.
true. It's
I love
true.
this episode too. Your call. What are we gonna do?
Well, if everyone else has got to go, then go.
Okay.
Okay.
Wrap it then. I mean,
Okay.
it's
You're
a
gonna
shame,
rap
but
it
if-
yourself, or do you want to do it now?
It's a wrap.
Well, let's
Let's
throw a
wrap
wrap
it
right
now.
now.
Let's
Let's
wrap
wrap
it
it
now.
now.
We're all
Sorry,
here.
everyone, but we'll get on. If
Next
you haven't
week-
noticed,
next week,
I'm
though.
back, so we should be
Yeah,
more
Levi is back.
more
2 hour
more-
stream
We're
next week.
back. We're
Yeah,
back.
more
2
able
hour
to do
stream. Yeah.
Cheese stream.
Whoa. Next
Cheese
week,
stream.
we won't just be talking Andor. We'll be talking Tales and
Tails.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's Tails next week.
So you'll need the
Great
2
point.
hours.
I didn't even.
Yeah, we
think
might
of
have to
that.
do a couple separate things.
Damn, I don't even. Okay, well, yeah.
We had each other.
There's
So,
that. We had each
Thank
other.
you. Thank you.
I love
everybody
it so
for,
much. It's so
coming
great.
on.
How did you defeat an
AJ,
Empire?
thank you for
With almost
uh,
nothing.
Let us
Hopping
know
in
what you
with
think
us,
about Andor
usual.
in the
Glad I could finally make it.
comments if you watch
Yes,
the VOD.
absolutely. And we will see you guys next week for another Andor stream and plus Tales of the Jedi, which I'm very
Lot
excited
Dot
for.
in the chair.
Featuring
Lot
Non-canonical
Dot.
Bell. Taco Bell Legends timeline. That's a Taco Bell.
Okay.
What
Bye, everybody.
tier of
Legends.
Legends is that on?